deep in a magical forest where plants glowed with their own gentle light and crystals floated in the air like bubbles, lived a tiny sprite named Leary. She was no bigger than a thumb, with wings like a dragonfly and a heart full of curiosity. At night, Leary glowed softly, just like a little firefly, zipping through the shimmering trees and saying hello to all the talking animals. This forest was her home, a place of wonder and peace, all thanks to the Heartstone, a giant magical crystal that pulsed with life at the center of the woods. But one day, something was wrong. The air felt heavy, the glowing flowers seemed a little dimmer, and the usual cheerful songs of the birds were quiet. Leary flew to the center of the forest and saw the problem with her own eyes. The great Heartstone, which had always shone with a brilliant, warm light, was fading. Its vibrant glow was now just a weak flicker. The elders of the forest whispered in hushed tones that if the Heartstone's light went out completely, the entire forest would wither and die, turning into a dark and silent place. Leary knew she couldn't let that happen. Her tiny heart, though small, was filled with a huge love for her home. She remembered the old legends, tales of the ancient tree of whispers, a tree so old its roots touched the very beginning of time. The legends said this tree was the only thing that could recharge the Heartstone, but the journey to find it was long and filled with dangers, especially for someone as small as her. But Leary didn't hesitate. She carefully wrapped the fading Heartstone in soft moss, tied it to her back, and prepared to set off on her great mission. Her journey began at sunrise. The path was unfamiliar, and the forest seemed less friendly without its usual bright glow. Leary felt a little scared, but she pushed her fear aside, thinking of all the creatures who depended on her. Soon she heard a rustle in the bushes. Out popped a young fox with fur the color of autumn leaves and eyes full of courage. "Where are you going with such a heavy burden, little sprite?" he asked. His name was Fen. When Leary explained her quest, Fen didn't think twice. "The forest is my home too," he said bravely. "I'll go with you. My paws are swift, and I can protect you from dangers." As they traveled deeper into the woods, they came across a small, quivering ball of fur hiding under a large leaf. It was Mew, a shy bunny with big, gentle eyes. Mew was frightened of almost everything, but she knew every secret path, every hidden tunnel, and every shortcut in the forest. When she heard about the fading Heartstone, she trembled but found a spark of courage inside herself. I can help," she whispered. "I know the safest ways to go." So Mew joined them, her knowledge of the hidden paths proving invaluable as she guided them through tangled thickets and winding trails that no one else knew. Their path eventually led them to the oldest part of the forest, where the trees were so tall their branches touched the clouds. High up on a branch sat a wise old owl, his feathers the color of twilight. His name was Oro. He blinked his large round eyes and hooted softly. "I see you carry the heart of our home," he said in a deep, calm voice. Oro was a scholar of the forest, able to read the ancient symbols and signs that were scattered throughout the land. He knew the legends of the ancient tree better than anyone. The path ahead is marked by riddles and old magic, he explained. You will need my wisdom to find your way. And so Oro joined the group, completing their fellowship. Leary, the sprite, Fen, the fox, Mew, the bunny, and Oro, the owl were unlikely friends, united by one very important mission. Their first great challenge was the River of Mist. This wasn't an ordinary river. It was a swirling, magical fog that rose from the water and confused anyone who tried to cross it. The mist would whisper doubts and create illusions, making travelers walk in circles for days. As they approached, the mist swirled around them, and Leary started to see images of the forest, dark and lifeless. Fen saw ghostly hunters chasing him, but Oro hooted a clear, steady note. "Focus on my voice," he called out. "Do not listen to the mist's lies. Mew, which way?" Mew, though scared, pointed her nose toward a line of hidden stepping stones she knew was there. Following Oro's call and Mayu's guidance, with Fen clearing the path ahead. They carefully made their way across the river, ignoring the confusing whispers until they reached the other side, safe and sound. Next, their journey took them into the dark mouth of the Cave of Echoes. This cave was a place of fear. It didn't just echo sound, it echoed your deepest worries, making them louder and more terrifying with every step. As they entered, Leary's fear of being too small and helpless to save the forest bounced off the walls, growing into a deafening roar. Fen heard the sounds of a forest fire. His greatest fear, Mew heard the growls of predators all around her. The fear was almost too much to bear. But Leary, remembering why she was there, took a deep breath. She began to hum a soft, gentle tuna lullaby her mother used to sing. The melody was filled with love and courage. As her light pulsed in time with the song, the tune echoed through the cave, overpowering the sounds of fear with a message of hope and kindness. The others joined in, and together their courage became the loudest echo, guiding them through the darkness. As they neared the end of their journey, the forest grew darker and colder. From the shadows, strange creatures began to appear. They were made of darkness and envy, drawn to the last bit of light flickering within the hearthstone. These shadow creatures slithered and crept towards them, trying to snatch the crystal away. Fen leaped forward, snarling and snapping, driving them back with his bravery. Mew, using her speed, created diversions, leading the creatures down false paths. And from above, Oro swooped down, his silent flight and sharp talons startling the shadows. Leary held the hearthstone tight, focusing all her energy on protecting its fragile light. It was a desperate battle, but their teamwork was strong. They fought together, a beacon of friendship in the encroaching darkness, and managed to drive the shadow creatures back into the depths of the woods. Finally, after overcoming all the challenges, they arrived. Before them stood the ancient tree of whispers. It was colossal, its bark covered in glowing ancient symbols, and its leaves rustled with the secrets of the world. It was more magnificent than any legend described. But as Leary approached, holding out the fading heartstone, nothing happened. The tree remained silent, its magic dormant. Oro looked at the symbols on the trunk. "It's a test," he hooted softly. "The tree needs to know you are worthy. It tests not for strength, but for heart." Leary understood. She placed the heartstone gently at the base of the tree. She didn't make a grand speech or demand its power. Instead, she spoke from her heart. She told the tree about her love for her home, about her friends who helped her, and about the courage she found in wanting to protect others. She spoke of her hope for the forest to be vibrant and full of life again. As she spoke, her own light glowed brighter than ever before, fueled by her pure kindness and selfless courage. The ancient tree seemed to listen. A low, gentle hum started to come from its roots, and the symbols on its bark began to glow with a brilliant golden light. The light flowed from the tree and into the heartstone. The crystal, which had been dim and weak, began to pulse with power. Its light grew stronger and stronger until it burst forth in a radiant wave that washed over the entire forest. The darkness receded, the plants began to glow vibrantly again, the river flowed with clear, sparkling water, and the birds began to sing their joyful songs once more. The enchanted forest was saved. The light had returned, brighter and more beautiful than ever. With the heartstone fully restored, Leary and her friends returned to the center of the forest as heroes. The talking animals cheered, and the glowing flowers bowed in gratitude. The forest was not only alive, but it felt more connected, more magical than before. The ancient tree, recognizing Leary's pure heart and bravery, bestowed upon her a new title. She was no longer just Leary, the little sprite. She was now Leary, the guardian of the light, entrusted to protect the heartstone for all time. Leary learned that it doesn't matter how small you are, with courage, kindness, and the help of good friends, you can overcome any darkness. And so, she watched over her beloved home, her own small light. A constant, shining reminder that even the tiniest spark of hope can illuminate the entire world. Thank you for watching this story with me. If you enjoyed our adventure in the Enchanted Forest, don't forget to like and subscribe for more magical tales.